cheers and enjoy the beers. Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome once again back to the channel with me, Disco, coming out with some more live beer reviews from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar. I'm still bordering on calling the Disco Arms, and I only just thought of that one last moment. I'd forgotten about that in the rest of the preparation. But yes, 3 more beers from the Beer Stash and another Bash the Stash stream for a Monday Club. Back to the old routine. It feels like not doing streams over the weekend. It kind of feels like it's been a while. So hopefully the microphone's on this time, unlike last week's stream, where I sat nattering away to myself for a good 20 minutes, although I wasn't talking for all of that. Might replicate that again tomorrow. A bit more gardening, a bit more beering. Thanks for popping in. If you are joining us for a beer on a Monday night out there in YouTube land, like I guess Rusty, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Oh, you can hear me. Happy days, jolly good. Nice. Tuesday stream, the microphone kind of, I don't know, did its thing and popped out the socket halfway through the stream as well. So now I've got to remember all these things. And yeah, remember to do the photographs, remember to do the can tilt. And now remember to check that the microphone, because my laptop's had a few wobbles like last few weeks, and things don't work, and I've got to get it fixed, but I'm never going to, But yeah, thanks for popping along. Rusty, let us know if you've got anything in your glass on a Monday night. It's not compulsory, of course, to listen to the stream. I'm only beering on a Monday night because I don't have a lot of time the rest of the week between work, and this week's different again because, yeah, doing a bit more volunteering tomorrow, and my schedule's all up the Swanee a little bit this week with various things and stuff, but doesn't mean can't have a beer. Can't get that straight either. That's annoying. But there you go. Right, yeah, in that case, let us dive straight into, and again, still can't do it smoothly, but thanks to StreamYard. I get fed up saying about that. Sort it out, StreamYard. And I haven't extended the thing either, but beer number 1, please. Beer number 1. Shiny, shiny can. See the shiny, shiny. Yeah, so a shiny, shiny can off. Das ist Techno Sex. Couldn't line up any music for this one. Didn't have time this afternoon. I still went off and did other things. Finishing off a keg of Leith Winter. Ooh, fair play. I've not seen that one. Not massively into me Leith, to be fair. Certainly not me kegs, but sounds good. Sounds good. Obviously, Leith well thought of, so fair play. Yeah, so I'm doing Scottish beers today because yesterday was St.Andrews Day, and being I missed completely doing, and I like related beers. I get 3 vaguely tenuous linked beers, especially on a Monday night. Yeah, so I completely missed St.Andrews Day yesterday, patron saint of Scotland, but then I completely missed doing any beers for St. George's Day, David's Day. I am often asked, and I firmly say I'm British in descent, and occasionally Irish by the sheer amount of Guinness I used to drink on 2 separate occasions, 2 Irishmen conferring honorary Irishman upon me for the same reason. And in fact, once in Ibiza, I was given the title honorary Scotsman as I outdrank 3 fine Scotsmen from Stirling on the McEwen's, I think. So yeah, I got 3 beers from Scottish breweries today for a belated St.Andrews Day drink. I know everybody else has already started on the Christmas beers. I'm not really doing Christmas beers. I might look at it next week. I've got some other stuff to get in from Trembling Madness, so I might put some Christmas beers on. There's plenty about. And I said wasn't going to buy that many more beers. Wandered into a random Sainsbury's today and picked up another 4. In fact, wandered into a random Londis and picked up another one. Not really a Christmas beer particularly, but I did pick up the 4 stouts from Sainsbury's. So, stop buying beers, Disco. Drink through your stash. Bash the stash. Well, that's what I'm doing now. So let's get this one into a glass. Yeah, so got the banner. Yeah, so Up Front Brewing. I believe we're up just south of Glasgow in Scotland. That's his Techno Sex, 5.4%, passion fruit and key lime gose. Look at that terrible spelling. Well, it's not actually, it's correct spelling, but I like to put capitals. Kitty, no. Yeah, passion fruit and key lime gose. Now, this one is not a newbie. It's been around a while. I only picked this up a month or so ago because I've seen everybody else do it, review it and drink it. And I wanted to go. No, that's not yours, darling. It is not yours. You are over there on the nice comfy cushions, darling. Kits go again, thinking she's the star of the show. I'm not even the star of the show. The beer is. Yeah, let's get this into a glass and I'll do comments. So yeah, nice shiny can. I thought it was going to be difficult to photograph earlier with all those shiny reflectrons. I think it will be difficult to photograph in a moment, but let's get it out into a glass. I tell you what, very light, plenty bubbles, plenty bubbly, nice head development. I expect that to dissipate fairly quickly. Let's see if we can do. Oh, we can. Nice. I do like it when the can balance goes down first time. It just makes it a bit simpler. And I'm tripping over shit. That makes it less so. Yeah, so I'm not sure how this is going to go down with all that lighting reflecting off the can in a terrible lighting situation in the first place. But yeah, no, it's not bad actually. So doing it from above. I don't know what you can see there now. Let's try it again. Oh, shit. There you go. Yeah, that works. You can see the shiny, but it doesn't do bad on the reflection, which is good. I expected it to be all a bit horrific there, but it works. So happy days. It's a good start. Apart from all the other things that have gone wrong with the stream so far, but there you go. Can balance is not one of them. So yeah, really light. I mean, I know it's a ghost, but very lemony yellow kind of rest in there. Invigorate that head development. Good. Looks good. Despite that lightness, I'm not sure about that. That generally says to me it's going to horrific. But what no Sharkmas beers? Yeah, no, I haven't even thought about that yet. I'll rustle up some. I might even get around to getting those Ridgeway ones. But yeah, I'm just terribly badly organised as ever. Kitsko is starting to take over your show. You need to find some cat-themed beers. Yeah, I did have one or two a way back. She's not careful. She might end up getting her own channel. Maybe. Hi, Jamie. How you doing? Thanks for popping in here. Not too bad. Hope you're having a quiet beer on a Monday night for a Monday Club. Not compulsory. PGT, always welcome. Is he not doing his own thing? Welcome, of course. So a passion fruit and key lime gose. I'm not sure how that's going to go down. Passion fruit is not one of my favourite things, especially in a sour. Key lime, well down with that. You don't see too much lime in beers or sours really. I think I'm all for a bit more lime generally. No beers for you on it. Yep, know the feeling. No problem. It's not compulsory for a Monday night. I just do it because I don't really have to get up tomorrow. Except tomorrow, actually, I do have to get up because I've got. I'm off work, but I'm going into work again for a little volunteer day. But there you go. How stupid am I? But there you go. It's all good fun, isn't it? But yeah, stream tomorrow as well. I've also got football tomorrow, so I've got to go there, do the work, do the stream, dash back here and watch the football. So no pre-football stream as such. It'll be a gardening stream, I think, if it works. Unless it's pissing it down the rain. And in that case, I'm not taking a laptop and putting it out in the rain because it's all outside. But there you go. Let's get into this beer then. Up Front Brewing, just south of Glasgow. Let's have a sniff. Well, it definitely smells like a beer. It's got a solid malt background on that. Yeah, das ist Techno Sex. That's the best I can do for techno music. I didn't line any up. Didn't find any copyright-free music. I didn't have a chance this afternoon. Yeah, so it's a down there. Look. Das ist Techno Sex. 5.4%. A passion fruit and key. I also saw. We'll have a look. There isn't actually. That's weird. I was going to say there isn't anything. It's in very. I saw mentions of Himalayan sea salt and something else as well for the Gose, but there you go. Yeah, nice malty aroma on it. Not too much of a hint of any kind of fruit particularly, but I can smell. I think there's a little bit of salinity in that, as much as. Through the mouth rather as much as through the nose. You can taste the salinity coming off of that. Anyway, yeah, really light, really light colour, but kind of hazy. Like I said, I've seen other people do this one. It's been a fairly popular beer. I think just because of from the camera artwork, as well as the taste. So let's check this out. 5.5% passion fruit and key lime Gose. Das ist Techno Sex from Upfront Brewing in Glasgow. Cheers. That's odd, but not in a bad way. It's not odd. It's just it's terribly inoffensive. It's not a massive in-your-face sour. I thought we were going to get some absolute banging tongue twister with a beer. It's fairly subtle, I think is the word. It's nice. It's nice because it's got a lovely little bit of a kind of passion fruit juice. Without, I often find certainly like that earthy, pithy bitterness of passion fruit pips. This one is just about the juice, and then there is there's a little fizz of lime on the back end, and there is a definite salinity to it. You can feel that. It's on the tongue. I like beers like that, kind of give that balance between fruit. Salt. I said sea salt there, but I don't know. It's Himalayan rock salt or pink salt, something like that. I'll have a look on the thing in a minute. But yeah, it's all kind of nicely balanced. It's very light on that sourness. Sour doesn't have to be a Gose. Gose doesn't always be a sour. It depends on that salt content, making it a Gose, whatever you want to call it. Yes, it's very light on the sour. That lime juice developing now, really fresh, kind of peps you up. I guess like a bit of techno in the morning. You wake up and think, what on earth is that? But will you have it again? The best way to say it. Do you know what? I kind of almost rarely do that line because so many beers I'm never going to get around to having again because I've got too many beers. But this one, yeah, it's so juicy and kind of fresh. Got a great sparkle to it, so I would quite happily drink that again. I can't see when I'm ever going to get around to it. It's not one I'd like order loads of. Must go out and get it again, or maybe I'll try it every year because of the amount of beers I kind of get through. But it is a nice drinking experience for people who don't perhaps like sours or Goses. It's a kind of fairly gentle introduction to what Gose can be and how good they can be. Like I say, I always start on a Gose or a sour when I'm doing a 3-can lineup on the reviews. But if I'm out and about and I've had, not so much these days anymore, but what I used to do is if I was out and about on a big session on a day out, 3 or 4 pints in, maybe it starts to get a bit claggy or whatever, big hazies and that. I'll go to like a sour beer just to give that vitamin C hit, a little bit of a pep up to get back into kind of the drinking mode, if you will. And this certainly does that. It definitely gives that nice kind of zing without being too lip puckeringly, mouthfully sour bitterness. It's nicely balanced. Paul Greenwood, thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. Got a beer on maybe for a Monday night. Do let us know if you have. If not, it's not compulsory. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, all Scottish lineup tonight. Starting with this one from Glasgow. Apart from this beer, I know very little about Upfront Brewing, so we'll look on the website in just a minute. Seasoned drinker, well, you know what I mean? Yeah, I have been doing it a while, so I like to think of myself. I refuse to say expert or connoisseur or any of that bollocks. I just know what I like and like what I know, you know what I mean? Say what I like what I bloody well say. Something like that. So yeah, I've got far too many beers in the stash. Like I say, I'm getting rid of these 3 out there tonight. And I then bought another 5 today, just by happening upon a Sainsbury's and a little Londis that had something interesting in. I just happened to want, not interesting, unusual, something like that. So the Leffy, heavy but goes down easy, like more than the Francis kind of, yeah. Bash the stash as always, and then get more in. I can't seem to help it. It's like a little addiction. Who knows? Steady on, steady on. But yeah, I like this beer. It's nice. It's got that great fruitness going on. Picked it because I'd seen other people do it a way back. This is not like out new or anything. I think it is still available. So it kind of, I've seen loads of other people review it and talk about it. So it was just a random. Where did I get it from? I think I picked it up from. Was it from the Madness? Or did I get it from Scotland? But it's just like if I was ordering a cup. This is how I order beers now. Oh yeah, there we go. I got it in with all the pumpkin beers. Yeah, Trembling Madness. So I got it in with a pumpkin beer last month. So it hasn't sat in my stash too long. So it should be still fairly fresh. Still fairly good. Simo, how you doing, sir? Hope you're having a good start to the week. I didn't get to see much going on over the weekend, but I know you're live and stuff like that. I'm guessing you haven't got a beer on, but let us know if you have. Simo, I think you've reviewed this back in the day, a while back. I seem to remember. But yeah, Paul asked was the one I'd get again, and I'm like, yeah, I think I would. If I saw it in a pub, maybe up north or something, I'd have a pint of it. I doubt we get it down to London very often. But it's really nice. I think it will go really well bouncing off the third one, because the third beer I've got on tonight, it's got a kind of savoury sort of note. So that's oops, sorry about that. Yeah, a lot of it about at the moment. I'm staying the fuck away from everybody, so hopefully not to get onto it. Helps hence being able to have a beer tonight. Oh, lovely. Yeah, lovely little bit of lime, almost limeade kind of like sweetness from that. They say key lime, but they don't go as far to say key lime pie. So it's definitely just the lime. There's no pastry element to this. There's no sweetness. That lime getting slowly more and more kind of tart, becoming slightly cloying, but in a nice way. I quite like lime, as I always say about, prefer my citrus notes to be on the lemon or lime, etc. Okay, no, it's quite easy to read if you had any decent eyesight, but I haven't. Passion fruit key lime goes with pink Himalayan salt and Indian coriander seeds. I'd forgotten about that. I did read that earlier. Don't normally look at the notes, but I did happen to read that. So yeah, there's that kind of savouriness as well. Unfined, unfilled, 100% vegan friendly. Yeah, passion fruit, key lime, pink Himalayan salt, and coriander seeds in the ingredients. Brewed by Upfront okay. Brewed by Upfront Brewing at 71 Brewing. A 71 are over in Dundee, so I don't know, maybe Upfront are doing a bit of cuckoo brewing rather than having their own place. Oh, lovely little sticker. Oh, wow. Oh, no. 30th of September 2026 on the lovely sticker on the bottom there. Will that focus? So, yeah, way well in. So I got a late one there, but yeah, that's what I say. Tastes pretty fresh, fairly smashable as well. Also works this time of year, I say, but equally a bit kind of summer beer, summer refresher. It's got that kind of sparkle and that juice bordering on kind of hints of pie, that kind of dessert kind of beer. But yeah, really nice. I love that lime note sparking through it. Can't pick the coriander out too much, but it's got that kind of slight savory kind of edge to it, maybe. Yeah, that's a really nice beer. Really nice, well put together, nicely done. As I say, it's fairly like popular, seeing it about a fair bit on the socials. Let's have a quick look at the website, see what they brewery themselves have got to say. Yeah, there we go. Let's take the about first of all. Let's talk about the brewery. I found out brewing in 2015 with the air of sharing my love of exceptional beers and great artwork with a wider audience. I take great pride in having no loans, no investors, and no Kickstarter funding. Everything is paid for up front for now, at least. Being a one-man band means that I have very little in the way of overheads, which allows me to spend considerable amount of time and effort on researching and experimenting with new yeast, bacteria, ingredients, and brewing techniques from around the world. After many years of nomadic brewing, in late 2023, I brought all my brewing in-house, as well as starting to brew test batches of mead for an offshoot project called Upfront Meadery. 2024, I acquired my own brew kit and a small canning line, and in early 2025, relocated the brewery to the picturesque and decidedly bucolic farming town of Strathaven, a short 25-minute drive south of Glasgow. I managed to get everything installed and fully operational early 2025. Yeah, no tap room at the moment. Hopefully one day get my own tap room where I can share my love of great beer and mead with the public in a more intimate setting. I wonder if they'd probably have to go to Glasgow for that, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure, Simmer. I've definitely seen Geordie do this one, and I'm sure a few others. Let's have a quick look in the shop, see what is currently available. Because I don't think I've really seen too much of Upfront. I'm sure I tagged them in something at some point. That's a New England Pale Ale Common Green and a Factory IPA. There's Das's Techno Sex, if there's any more in there. Whoa! They don't say that on the cans. Do you see that there? Passion fruit and key lime Gose with pink Himalayan salt and Indian coriander seeds. Dry hopped with Citra. My hop nemesis. But in an IPA, I always find Citra is like, can be oppressive kind of grapefruit. And this one, it gives that kind of citrus note background. Absolutely no grapefruit, particularly to speak of, because the lime is shining through for the citrus. But yeah, just that Citra gives it that little extra bit of kind of citrus note and kind of slightly drying fruit flavor, slightly drying, slightly bitterness. But when done well, so I will say, when done well, I don't mind Citra. I do make this big thing about hating Citra being my hop nemesis and all that kind of thing. So yeah. But yeah, Citra, don't mind when it's done well. Das ist ein Lager beer. A Munich Helles. Slow fermented on a traditional German lager used from Weihenstephan. Nice. Munich Helles with Saar's hops. Interesting. Oh, hang on, what's that? Walden. A light and refreshing summer session sour brew with powers from Hand Brew Co. in Worthing. Okay. Gooseberries, mint and cucumber. Well, mint and cucumber. Yeah, nowhere near as weird as it sounds. Yeah, I can't say anything about cucumber in beer because we've got a really good one. Mint, I'm not so keen on, and gooseberries could work. Yeah, fair play. Unfortunately, it's sold out. So it'd be very interesting. That one. Saison. I always overlook Saison. Yeah, but they're doing other stuff as well. So yeah, there we go. An interesting little thing. One man band coming out of Scotland doing it all himself. Maybe better that way. Doesn't have any arguments then, and he's getting good beer out by the sound of it. So fair play. 12 very nice beers for the run up to the 25th. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I tried to do it in the previous years, and I think the first year I was going to do one a day in December, and I got up to about 16, but I did it on Instagram, so I didn't have to produce an entire video, and then do the reviews afterwards. I got as far as about 16 or something, and then a few years ago I tried to do, I was going to do 12 beers, and I got as far as 4, and other stuff came up and work and shit. So I kind of don't do that anymore. I don't do advent calendar beers. I just buy beers I want to actually drink. And in fact, I've got an entire fucking cupboard full. Like I say, picked up another 5 today accidentally. I didn't get to bed until 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, so I needed a day or two off. Blimey. Fair play. Work on Thursday. Yeah, I'm like I say, I'm at work all this week, so proper drinker, northern lad. Yeah, fair play. I say I kind of slowed up a little bit me drinking recently, mostly going towards the 3 session kind of limit. Occasionally I have a 4th one afterwards, but I'm just slowing down. I'm getting the beers reviewed, and just got a bit of a backlog. But shit happens. Yeah, that fairly so I've been kind of because you never know what you're going to get. They're always going to populate it with some kind of lower price session IPAs and stuff, probably. I could put together probably my own advent calendar. I could probably put together 3 or 4 advent calendars. Might not be great ones, but I could put together at least 3 advent calendars if only I could actually get around to putting the videos out, because I just don't have the time. It annoys me because I want the time. I want to be able to do it. I bought the beers because I buy most beers on the basis I think I'm going to like them, or at least want to try them, or something might be a bit weird like this, and 50-50 whether you're going to like them or not. But I just have beers in I want to drink, rather than advent calendar beers. That's not to say, people who do them, it's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. However you want to drink, or certainly for content producers, that's all good. I probably could put together an out-of-date beers advent calendar if I thought about it. I think certainly a 12 Days of Christmas one. I don't think that would be a very good experience. I will drink them beers at some point. I'll try not to. I don't know. I was going to go through the stash. I was going to go through the beer stash and kind of separate it out and just review the current beers that people can actually get hold of, because it's kind of, I'm not sitting here going, oh, look at me, I've got a shitload of beer. What I mean? I'm not showing off here. It's just time and talent really hasn't really gone as the way I wanted. If I bought 6 beers from Trembling Madness, I should just review them at the weekend, you know what I mean, and get them out of the way so I don't have them sitting around. But a lot of the stuff I got is beers I've got sitting there because they've been make weights orders. I've ordered a specific beer from a brewery because I want it. So it's I'll pick up a session IPA or something else. And I just, never get around to all the other ones, I suppose. And sometimes I don't get around to the ones I specifically put the order in for. I've still got 3 videos to edit and get out. I've still got 3 very specific beers in there that I want to do. as a standalone video, and I might just never get around to it. I might just do it on a live just to get through it. But yeah, it's a nice problem to have, isn't it? Too many beers. It's my own fault. Oh, okay, yeah. I was hoping to do something like that as well. So yeah, you get your own beers, and then it is like you have the element of surprise when it comes out. At one point, that'll be next year now. I might get the other half to just go into a random bottle shop and say, buy the beers, put them in a bag, don't show me them, and wrap them up. Silver foil I like doing, but yeah, I'll get around to that at some point. That's another one for the list to do. But yeah, I'm really pleased I've done this beer. It's nice. I would drink it again in the right circumstances. I don't know if I'll get around to ordering it again, but yeah, really nice from up front. Absolutely solid Gose, lovely flavours, great lime, sparkle. Love the salinity, just about right, balances across the beer. Passion fruit. I think passion fruit is another one I struggle to actually get. It often, like I say, goes a bit kind of pithy bitterness for me. Like passion fruit's got those seeds in it, which I think is a kind of woody note in a lot of beers. I'm not sure. There's some hops that give passion fruit as well, so I'm not a big fan of passion fruit. You try a passion fruit, or I try a passion fruit, and it always seems a good idea, but it's never as good as it imagines. But it's got that tropical note here, that kind of juicy kind of fruitiness, and that lime sparkles across the back end, and then the salinity, the coriander just gives it a kind of vague, like slightly umami note kind of thing in and around the salinity. So yeah, really good, really smashable beer. I say cold in the summer, that'd be great. I haven't had it in the fridge or anything. It's just been in the stash, so in the cold cupboard. So yeah, nice one up front. What a good start. Cheers. Gosh. Lovely. Now, the problem I had with this set is Scotland, I think, traditionally has been probably maybe the second or third main rough geographical area of beers I get in. Yorkshire being the first, 100%, no problem with that. Definitely Yorkshire, Scotland, and probably London, I guess, in third. So I've got a few Scottish beers in. For a long time, I've not gone to any Scottish brewery for a specific order. I used to get a lot out of Drygate over in Glasgow. I haven't seen a lot from them for a while. That was my biggest order. Fierce beer I have quite a bit from, but just random ones I picked up from. So I had a little bit of problem. Funny enough, I seem to have a lot of Scottish sours in. Probably a bit too much Vault City. And Vault City, I've had to completely ignore Vault City recently because there's so much good stuff coming out of them. And I'm like... And I looked at Vault City and I was like, well, I could do an entire Vault City stream, but it'd all be sours. In fact, I picked up another Vault City. That was one of the ones in the supermarket today. Gingerbread stout, fucking 15% nonsense, but it was in a 4 for 3 deal, but that one weren't free. But yeah, so it's fairly easy to do for me, a lineup. I was putting Holy Goat one, Dams and Porter. But I thought I might do that as a standalone if I get around to it. So, yeah. So we're going to move on up to the stouts. I haven't got that many of them, so I haven't really got any. I've got a pale ale, Barney's, but I went with the stouts next just to stop them sitting in the stash a bit too long. Hang on, I'm waffling because I can't find the link. Right, so let's go on to beer number 2, please. And beer number 2, slightly bigger can, but that's only because I guess of the widget in the bottom. Having done Black Friday on Friday with a beer with black in the name, I'm managing to avoid London Black. This one is a kind of contender for London Black, I think. It's called Extra Black. It's from Campervan Brewery up in Leith, just outside of Edinburgh. And it is, as you might expect, a 4.5% gluten-free and Nitro Stout. So yeah, one of the many kind of I don't think it's a gimmick as such. It's a kind of beer style. It's a slight bandwagon jump, but every other brewery is kind of doing it. So why not? If you've got the technique and the equipment, I suppose. Yeah. So the last time I poured, certainly London Black, it didn't go that well. I tell you what, that's what I wanted you to all remind me. So I'm glad I've remembered. I'm going to look on the can for this one because I'm going to look at the pouring notes. Remember, last time I did a Nitro Stout, I forgot to see whether to roll it or not. No pouring instructions on it, so yeah, usual ingredients. I'll look at the best before in a minute. It does say Nitro Porter, cold pressed coffee and chocolate smooth at 4.5%. So I'm just going to pour it in what I imagine to be the correct or traditional manner of hard pouring. So this could go everywhere. Gluten for punishment or glutton for punishment. This is gluten free, not gluten for punishment. Right. So yeah, not sure how this is going to work, but let's go. And I have put it into what I think might be slightly nucleated glass as well. Check glass. But yeah, no, lovely pour. Loving that. Slight panic whether it was going to keep going, but yeah, loving that settle. So it looks good from the off. So plenty of nitro going on there. What can we see on the settle? Looks good. Plenty of carbonation racing up the glass. So it's good look. Obviously, no can balance with this one because it all has to kind of hard pour into the glass. So we'll do the normal photograph whilst that is settling. I don't think I'll get there in time to catch any of the settle. The thing I'm never sure about with hard pours on nitros is the massive head development you get, and it always looks wrong. But that is just from that hard pour. So, you know, put that down to see a reflection, of course. But it looks good. It looks the part. Nice Guinnessy settle. And this is the thing, it's always about the Guinness, isn't it? Don't know if that's gone well. No, that's not gone as well as I want, really. Oh, that nearly went. That worked. See, that would be great if only it could focus properly. That might work. Yeah, there, that'll do. That's fine. Just about in focus. It'll have to do. So, yeah, nice, proper, creamy looking head. Like the look of that. Must be, yeah, it's kind of difficult going onto the sours, onto the stouts after the sours, but let's have a little palate cleanse. I've seen a few other people do this one, and it often evades the lineups of nitro stouts on reviewers, certainly on YouTube. So I haven't seen too many do it. I think, if I remember rightly, Crummy Beard did this one. Campervan is probably one of the slightly less well-known brewers out of Leith. There's quite a lot of them having their own little collective out there just outside of Edinburgh. New Barnes probably being most well-known. Pilot, haven't seen a lot out of Pilot Brewery out of Leith for a while. I know they're still going and still doing their delightful little 330ml cans. That's up to them. Don't see them so much since we got busted off Twitter because they used to do a lot of really decent tweets, kind of quite funny. So Campervan, first found Campervan about 5 years ago when we were on Twitter. We was doing Tuesday night craft beer hour, which has sadly gone by the wayside. I never carried on, never got round to keeping that going really. So I had a set of beers from Campervan about 5 years ago. Seen them on and off about. Haven't really picked anything up from them, but there we go. A nice, solid 4.5% Nitro Stout. Now I've often been quite critical, certainly of London Black, as to what Nitro Stouts are about, kind of replicating or emulating the Guinness, which is no longer the best product that it used to be with a mass market. But Guinness does get a bit of a free pass from me, like I say, having back in the day been awarded honorary Irishman status from 2 separate Irishmen for the amount of Guinness I was used to putting away. Back when it pretty much dominated the market, at least 75%. So let's get into this, see just what sort of a go Campervan have given it for a little brewery. Well, they're fairly small, but to be getting into Nitro like that. Cheers. Not quite Slauncher. Well, I suppose Slauncher, because that's Scottish as well. So cheers, Slauncher. Yeah, a little bit of roast. Getting through my semi-blocked up nasal passages. Yeah, there's a little bit of roastiness there. Touch of like maybe hints of chocolate and coffee. But let's get it down and have a look. Cheers. No splitting the G for me. Let's not put it in a Guinness glass. But I'll tell you what, Rasko's going to hate this if he watches it or if I'm watching, but it's a bit difficult actually. No, I was going to say it's better than London Black. And I'm not just saying that to wind Rasko up. And I'm not going to bother to send him a thing, oh, this is better than London Black. Because it's not, it's funny, it's the fact that he loves London Black is great. And London Black is a great beer. This one has a slightly better, slightly better back end. It has, I think, London Black, and it's probably an unfair comparison. It's just a name thing, isn't it? So London Black has that slight draft Guinness can wateriness on the back end. Spring water, quality spring water, but still watery nonetheless. This does not have that. This is creamy all the way down. It is very difficult, and I realise that's my own fault for doing it after a lime sour, because I've still got that lime, but I've also got a bit of salinity, which works all right with this. Yeah, but this is better. It's got a nice creamy finish on it rather than slightly watery. It is light. You can feel that 4.5% lightness, that, you know, what it's trying to replicate from Guinness. This one is arguably better. It's also slightly lighter in flavour. There's not so much coffee and chocolate going on, but there's definitely a roastiness to it. There's very definitely a smoothness from that Nitro. The gluten-free is immaterial because that doesn't really touch on the flavour particularly. But that head development there, it's staying around. So I haven't had enough water over the palate to kind of wash that lime out. So it's a bit odd. And that's my bad. There is a good amount of roastiness there. That kind of roasty, slightly bitter, dark chocolate note going on. Not masses of sweetness, to be fair. But solid, like I say, solid and creamy all the way through. And again, if you're going to ask me, would I drink it again as a marker? Yes, I would. I will never quite probably get around to trying side by sides, but I would love to do it as side by side. So you've got that same thing washing over the palate. I think this will still beat London Black in a head-to-head. I'm trying to think of some of the other. What was the other Nitro Stout I had? It was a terrible pour. Was that Mad Squirrel? Didn't plan that, but yeah. I was up in Mad Squirrel country today, and I went to one of their bars. It was shut because it was Monday afternoon, so I went to the London's next door and picked up a beer. But yeah, no, I'm sure the Man's Grill Nitro Stout wasn't all that. So I wouldn't mind doing a side by side. But that is a very, very good example. There's still some beer quality with the lacing and stuff there. And that head development, retention as well. Paul, been buying Cloudwater and Rivington beers, and obviously German and Belgium. That's my kind of stuff. Yeah, I've said this before. I'm anti Cloudwater, but I cannot remember why. I haven't bought a Cloudwater since 2018. I don't rush out for their stuff. I don't rush out for Rivington, although a lot of people love it. But the order I got from Rivington and the few beers I've had really didn't hit the mark for me at all. One was a sour, but I had 2 cans of it, and neither were all that great. And yeah, the Rivingtons I've had have been all right, but not exceptional. But I can see why people love them and keep going back to them. I'd love to go to their place and have it on a tap room and have a better view of it than half a dozen cans. But yeah, no, fair play. Yeah, anybody else? Sim, I can't remember. Have you tried this Nitro? I know you're a big kind of that's really fine with a stout, certainly a Nitro stout. Better than Guinness, that's the title. If I ever did a standalone video of this, and I think it is. A can of draft Guinness or a can of Nitro Guinness next to this blows Guinness out of the water because it hasn't got that kind of slightly weak, watery edge. I want to drink this as a stout goes, as a Guinness drinker. This is superb, quite frankly. For Nitro Stouts on tap rather than cans, fair. I mean, any beer is going to be better on tap, isn't it, really? Didn't I have a Siren Nitro Stout, I think? 2p from the sale of this can has been donated to Surfers Against Sewage. Very laudable. Best before. I think we're going to be okay. Ooh, we're getting close. 20th of January 2026. Like I say, I got this beginning of September. So it sat there for a while. And again, I was thinking of whether I was going to do side by sides or anything. Talking about Nitro beers, but I just sort of want to drink it, really, to be fair. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Steve's channel. Yeah, not too bad. What's the difference in Nitro and normal stats? Good question, sir. Good question. So, yeah, Nitro has got that infusion of nitrogen, either by widget, not in this one, or actually in the can, in the beer itself. It gives it that kind of Guinness kind of like fluffiness. You see that head retention has stayed all the way down. A nice kind of half-inch thick head there that's just stayed, and it gives it that smoothness, that kind of fluffy pillowiness, and that original Guinness kind of like thing going on. A slightly specialist beer style. You don't see it about too much. Certain breweries have been nitroing all sorts of stuff. You get Nitro best bitters. Some places, some beers. I think Titanic have just brought out Nitro Plum Porter. Just makes it fluffier and softer, smoother. Like I say, but with this one, unlike Guinness, it has a slight watery, kind of light watery edge. This one is solid and smooth and creamy all the way through. Mr. Wilson, good evening to you. Hope you're doing all right. Having a good start to the weekend. Had a great weekend. Maybe got a little Monday Club cheeky tipple on today, if you're in. Nitro stouts they're slightly a specialist thing. They're a kind of, not everybody's kind of cup of tea. It's slightly cheating, maybe. Is it slightly cheating? The whole Guinness used to bring out different varieties of Guinness to extra cold and Nitro and stuff, just to sort of rank up sales a little bit. And sort of now every other brewery has kind of slightly jumped on the bandwagon a little bit. Yeah, cheers, Steve. No problem, mate. Have a good week. Enjoy the beers. Yeah, but this one, if we're going to put it up against other Nitro stouts, it's better than London Black. Tell Rasko I said that. Better than London Black. London Black's not a bad pint, to be fair, but it does have that slight watery edge, sort of spring water back end, slight lightness. The Guinness has, so it's replicating a product that's only slightly, well, not as good as it used to be, kind of thing. This one improves on that because it hasn't got that watery edge for me. Oh, here we go. Big one for a Monday night, Mr. Wilson. Dropping a Fuller's Imperial Stout. Yeah, I need to go and get those. I'm probably going to miss out because I did see, not the Imperial Stout, but I saw the Waitrose ones, the Fuller's, and I looked at them and I ummed and ahed. And that's an All-Star one. I should do this. I should do this. But I'm trying not to buy beers in November. Like I said, happened to pick up 5 beers today randomly. Yeah, so I should do them. But yeah, I've heard good things about that. So yeah. Oh, bear with me a second, folks. It's hit me again. It always happens. At least I knew the microphone was off that time. At least I noticed, eh? It's nice, but I prefer the porter. I think it needs some aging still. Nice beer. Fair play. Yeah. Yeah. If I do, I want to get one to drink now and then age one, but that's just more beer in the stash, and it's so we shall see. We shall see. Yeah. As a Nitro, very smashable stout for me. See that big split in the G kind of, well, it would have been split in the P on this Permon glass, but you can say big mouthfuls of this. It's very, very, very drinkable. I tell you what it has in common with Guinness. There is that slight lightness of flavour that you get in cold Guinness, but it's not as cold as that. It's just been in the stash. Develops into that more kind of slightly kind of dark roasted coffee note there as it warms slightly, perhaps. So it is all there in flavour. It's light, but not lighter flavour. There's definitely some coffee and chocolate notes going on there. A little bit, just a touch of that waxy cigar, kind of slightly smoky leather sofa note. Split the P sounds dodgy. Yeah, it's a Permon glass, so maybe I'm splitting the M. Splitting anything sounds dodgy, surely. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Yeah, it looks good, but yeah, no, it is a good beer. I'm really pleased with that one. I'm enjoying it. Like I say, I've tried not to go too nuts on Nitro stouts because every other brewery seems to have one a little bit. But this, yeah, this I think is one of the better ones. It's if you're checking out all the Nitro stouts, definitely have a look at this one. It's probably one of, I don't know, maybe the slightly lesser well-known breweries going for it with the Nitro stouts. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Share screen. At Campervan up in Leith, just outside of Edinburgh. So like I say, there's a little bit of a cult going on in Leith of breweries, kind of doing a kind of, strength in numbers kind of thing. I suppose, I don't know. between Pilot and New Barns, and I think there's a couple of others up there as well. But been going from strength to strength for the last 5 years. Let's have a look at their story so we can talk about it. Campervan Brewery started with a garage, a 1973 VW campervan called Olive, and a brew kit. After serious illnesses to his wife and daughter forced a career break, Paul Gibson evaluated his passions in his passions in life: beer, classic VW campervans, surfing, the great outdoors, travel, food, and family life. That's a lot of things to be interested in, but they all kind of go hand in hand. And began Campervan Brewery. Brewing had been Paul's respite in these tough times, and after several promising years of both garage and transient brews in Olive, Campervan was opened in 2017 in Leith. The opening of the brewery was followed by the opening of Lost in Leith, one of the few specialist beer bars in Scotland, catering to a variety of styles from across the world. So kind of hitting that craft beer revolution kind of just after the initial surge. Like I say, I found them in 2020 when everything was getting a lot more focus, really. We are proud to announce a recent expansion to a state-of-the-art brewhouse facility, as well as brand new tap room and showcase our beers. Brewhouse is equipped with top-of-the-line technology, brewing equipment, etc., etc. What is Paul Gibson, Patrick Smith, Jamie Lee, Cameron Scott, good Scottish name that. Production manager, head brewer, senior brewer, and 2 production brewers, plus some assistant brewer. Doing well. Like in terms of employing people and size, I guess it's not as small as I'm thinking, really. You know, that's a dozen employees going on there. And yeah, decent website. So I've ordered off the shop before, but like 5 years ago. Fairly strong in terms of branding there. Nice bright kind of colour cans, as I always say. Get the brewery logo if you've got it, or brewery name. Get your beer name, beer style, percentage on the front of the can. Easily photographable as well. Looking good. They have had a little bit of a change from what I remember in terms of style. Oh, there's a stout. Imperial Stout. 10%. Superb. Looks good too. From what I remember, I kind of remember them for their stouts. See, I got this from Trembling Madness. I really should have got that glass, to be fair. 25 quid for 2 cans and a glass. That sounds slightly... I can't remember what I paid for this, to be honest. See, $3.65 for a can of extra black. Let's call it 4 quid, 8 quid, 5 quid for a can. That doesn't sound right, but there you go. Who am I to worry about cost? Oh, hello. Lemon and lime Pilsner. That's interesting. I would definitely try that, especially at that reduced price. I'm not sure I like the slight change in artwork. It looks slightly cartoony and a little bit, dare I say, basic. But I'm not going to slag it off entirely. I'm sure the previous artwork was better. And got the pint glass in the shape that I like, especially on the black one, the extra black one. So, yeah, so good stuff coming out of Leith. Looks like they know what they're doing. Got a good web shop. And a fair amount of decent beers in there. Redwood, West Coast. Yeah, I'm going to avoid that. But yeah, good stuff from an up-and-coming brewery in Leith. I would say small, but got a lot of, why have they got sold out stuff on the website? That annoys me slightly. Leaf Juice is one I remember. Yeah, so some good stuff there coming out of Campervan. Yeah, and a badge. Didn't quite sound right for the price, but I'll probably just buy 2 cans and a pint glass. Hey ho. I just thought you have stouts and imperial stouts, but not double stouts. I can only think of one double stout, and I haven't. Would a double stout be somewhere between 6 or 7? Because if a stout's 4.5% and an imperial stout starts at about 7.5. Now I have seen Drygate, funnily enough, in Scotland, did a double stout. It was their Orinoco. It was double Orinoco. So they didn't call it imperial; they called it double Orinoco. And I think that was about 7.5, 7.4, something like that. So no, you're right. You don't really get double stouts. It's a good shout. Right, the old nose is going blocking up. So bear with me a second, and I'm going to bosh that back and get into beer number 3. So bear with me a sec. Hasn't really worked. I want to clear the old nasal passage because I really want to be able to smell the next one, but I think I will anyway. Had a collab they did recently called North Shore. It was a good double IPA. I wonder who that was. Was that with another Leith Brewery, perhaps? So North Shore, like Edinburgh. Okay, so they are getting out and about. So if you're finding them kind of, I guess, down this way, they do get, excuse me, cans and that out and about down this way. Like I said, I picked this one up from Trembling Manors, but I've seen them in London as well, London bottle shops. Right, really good beer that from Campervan, extra black, 4.5%. Nitro Stout. Yeah, a solid example of a Nitro Stout. Really smooth, slight roasty flavour, slight dark bit of chocolate and kind of coffee edge. Really smashable as well. Cheers. Yeah, definitely creamy without being like a milk stout or anything like that. But yeah, really nice indeed. Very, very drinkable. So let us do. Let's not do that. Let's not press the wrong fucking button, Disco. I don't know why I'm coughing. There's nothing to cough. I haven't eaten anything. Anyway. Beer number 3, please. Beer number 3, staying obviously in Scotland. I'm going for a little can. If only because this has been sitting probably in my stash far too long. Haven't quite really know where to sit with it. It's from Fierce Beer, which are up in, I would say Dundee, but they're not. They're Aberdeen. And it is Dirty Sanchez, a 5% smoked. Now you're going to have to help me out in the pronunciation. I say Chipotle, but people say it's Chipotle. But either way, it's a smoked Chipotle porter. Mostly because Chipotle is French, surely. And yes, managed on the first one. I didn't do a can balance on the Nitro because I just wanted to hard pour it into the glass. Probably could have stopped and done it, but maybe another time. So yeah, let's get it into a glass first, then we'll do. As we found out the other day, I can balance 330, so not necessarily think about it, but yeah. Oh, right. So it's been sitting in my stash a while, so it's a bit lively. Managed to rescue that. Didn't get that. Yeah, got a couple of spots on there, but it is rather lively. But like, I've been sitting in my stash a bit. Being the fact that it's a 330, you would be right to assume it's a beer 52 special, I believe. I can't remember when the Scottish box actually came out, but I think it's a while back. So no wonder it's quite lively. Balance is all right. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's that about? So, lovely little bit of can art going on. Nice red colour. And the kind of fierce logo. I don't think this is a collab. I think this is one of their own, but yeah, I like the artwork. Let's try that again, get it. One more, see if it works. Yep, not too bad. Oh, yeah. There we go. So nearly ruined it, but yeah, I'm not going to do a poll, but yeah, Chipotle or Chipotle? I think it's Chipotle. We have these arguments all the time. And never off, but there you go. Shocker there, smoked. Yeah, I keep finding them. To be fair, completely forgot about this one until I had a good search through the stash for all the Scottish beers I had in, and I thought, well, if I'm going sour stout, porter, not stout, but yeah, might as well try this one. Get it in there. Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not too spicy on the Chipotle. Yeah, is it Chipotle or Chipotle? Do let me know. Yeah, so let's have a little sniff. See if it's cleared as clear as the nasal passages with that spice in there, pepperiness. Yeah, definitely a note on the nose. I'm not even ill, it's just a cold keeps blocking up the nose. I don't know what that cough's all about, but there you go. Didn't even get the glass right way around. But yeah, lovely little bit of head development on there. It seems to be a kind of 1 mil of tan and 1 mil of slightly off white, which is a bit odd. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but yeah. Yeah, it smells a bit. It smells a bit sweet pepper. There's not too much spiciness on that now. But there's also not too much coffee or chocolate. Like I say, I think this is probably a bit old. Let's have a little taste and then we'll check out dates and stuff after that. But yeah, cilantro. First thing for me is kind of fruity. Like I say, that kind of red berry coffee bean kind of fruitiness. It's not smoked, unless it's not like, it doesn't feel like it's a smoky malt or anything. It just feels like Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's like a smoked malt, like a Bamberg or anything like that. It feels fruity. It feels maybe they've just smoked the peppers. Maybe, I don't know. Is that a thing? I'm interested to know. Um, yeah. So, um, yes, there's not a lot on it really. It's kind of good solid porter note. Got all the right kind of. Oh no, here we go. I was going to say all the right notes, but it hasn't. Because porters for me, I still want bourbon biscuits, and it hasn't really got that. It's a kind of dark malt note without being coffee or chocolate, without being bourbon biscuit. That fruitiness just dived into a slight amount of like chili heat. But definitely a kind of, I always think of it as red currant, but it's nice red coffee bean, a kind of slight fruitiness. Nice. Yeah, there it is again. So that kind of, yeah, so there's a slight smoke note without being kind of smoked malt kind of note. So it says on the back here, style smoked porter, additions chipotle or chipotle pepper, aroma, beach smoke, dark fruit and mocha. Definitely dark fruit, warming, subtle spice and roasty. Yeah, there is a certain amount of that. A bit of roasty kind of dark malt. A fierce beer classic. It's the first time I've had it, I think. I've seen it really. Dirty Sanchez first featured in our range back in 2016. Not this particular can, you hasten to add, Chuck. Just the general beer from Fierce Beer. Dark malt layered on wheat and oats with smoky notes and a kick of heat from chipotle pepper. Yeah, 5%. So what do we reckon? We're going to take some guesses on how old this beer is. Some reasonable head retention. As pour as go, and you can easily invigorate it. It was quite lively on the pour. I nearly overtopped it. It does feel like there's some amount of mutedness of flavours. Don't know where it is. So there's no date on the bottom of it. I don't think it's been misprinted on there. There just isn't a date on the bottom where you'd normally expect to find it. That little chili heat kick is growing a bit now. Around the top. It's weird. There's no best before date on this. I don't know how long it's been sitting there. Please look after this beer. Store dark, store cold, serve cool, drink fresh. Well, I don't know how fresh it is. Brewed and canned at Fierce Beer, Aberdeen. Dice, in fact, in Aberdeen. Yeah, so there's no date on this, which is weird. I thought there kind of had to be, or maybe this has been missed. It does say limited edition, but it's a regular beer. So yeah, like I say, it's a 330 because it definitely came out of a Beer 52 box at some point. There you go. Untapped has it a 2024 version. That would be about right. Can't remember when the Scottish box came out from Beer 52. I don't think I've got any other Scottish beers. I've still got a box of Beer 52 from unknown earlier in the year. I've only got the one box now. I've managed to get it down from the ones I purchased and the ones I forgot to get cancelled. Oh, that reminds me. Do I cancel? No, it was mid-December for my next box, but there you go. Well, that's good information. So it probably is. I don't think it's particularly suffered from it because it's a porter, so it's got all these darker notes. There's not a lot of hops to fade. I have a feeling maybe that chili heat has subsided slightly because it is there or thereabouts. A little bit of pepperiness going on as well, but mostly a kind of coffee bean fruitiness. Nice, a bit of a sip. It's also sort of slightly light, medium-bodied porter, slightly light of like mid-palate strength without being light on the flavour. That kind of chili certainly bringing up the flavour notes going on. Didn't know they grew peppers in Scotland. They grew anything in Scotland, my man. There's a lot of stuff in Scotland you wouldn't expect because you imagine it to be all cold and that, but there is some temperate kind of climes. Yeah, I wonder where they got the peppers from. I don't think they claim it's Scottish pepper. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right in the very small print above the ingredients. Best before August 2025. So it's not that much out of date. Do you know what I mean? It's not so detrimentally out of date that it's a problem. Still, I wouldn't say it tastes fresh because it's difficult for port to taste fresh, but yeah, quite nice. Quite nice. Like I think it's probably best that it's been aged accidentally in my stash because I think that's brought that chili heat down. I often struggle with things like Chipotle and any kind of habanero or anything like that. I mean, Chipotle's not a massively hot pepper, but there's a little bit of pepperiness as well. Lots of fruitiness. A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of coffee. You can tell once again I've enjoyed all three beers tonight. I'm looking at the timestamp now. I've just gone 1:20. I want to try and keep it down to an hour. And if I don't enjoy the beer, it'll often I'll just put it aside. But I've enjoyed all three of these beers tonight in various different reasons. So it's been a nice little stream. I'm a bit biased because I love beers from Scotland. Like I say, it's probably the second main area. Lumping Scotland all in together is unfair because it's a massive area, but so is Yorkshire. It's probably the main area I get beers from. But yeah, I've really enjoyed them. They've been all nice beers. There was a couple of others. Like I say, I thought about doing the Holy Goat, the Damson Porter. I could probably do that after this, to be fair. But I've got a lot of other, mostly sour Scottish beers, which I don't always think is a Scottish beer style, particularly, just sort of on the craft train. But yeah, that one from up front, superb. Gose flavors with the lime fizzing through, nice salinity. Not so much on the passion fruit, but yeah, solid beer, and also really drinkable, really enjoyable. The extra black, possibly a surprise. The surprise element, really, that it was actually better than I imagined, better than London Black. Yeah, what? Hey, what? Beer mongrel and ducks. What? Mentions. Well, I have mentioned beer mongrel today, but I definitely didn't buy a beer mongrel beer today from Sainsbury's. You know the one. I'm not going to review it or talk about it, but there you go. Yeah, fierce beer. I love fierce beer. I've got several fierce beers actually in. I could have done. I went with this one because I thought it was a little bit. Oh, I see. Don't mention the Scottish Brewery. Yes, I love the literary reference. I get it now. Yeah. Don't mention the Scottish Brewery. Certain Scottish Brewery. Yeah, so I do now have a beer mongrel beer in the stash. I'm just not going to review it. I'm just going to quietly try it one night and grumble a bit. It's a stout, so it'd be okay. It'd be fine, not touching the rest of it. But yeah, I'm going to stick with fierce beer. Campervan, brilliant, and might look a bit more up front as well at some point if I can. Yeah, don't mention the Scottish Brewery. I mentioned it once. I think I got away with it. Yeah, kind of. There's a little bit of savouriness there now too, as well. And it's almost sort of going towards Marmite slightly. With that slight kind of smokiness, but no, kept in a nice little balance. I think I think that aging has kind of taken the edge off of that chili kind of chipotle note, that peppery note. But really nice, really, really nice. Yeah, a nice lineup of Scottish beers, as pretty much always. Generally, a lover of beers from Scotland. Yeah, they know what to do with beers. So yeah, that's Monday Club. Lineup of 3 Scottish beers to belatedly salute St.Andrews Day that was yesterday. Yeah, I'm gonna finish that one off easily after the stream. And then have a rest up, and then try and get up early in the morning and do all the necessary admin to get this stream sorted, and get one up tomorrow. Do another Tuesday afternoon stream if it's not pissing down with rain. If it's slightly drizzly, I might take an umbrella. Bit more digging. Disco digs it tomorrow. Again, bit more composting up the farm. Beering and volunteering tomorrow, if I can get that stream away. Not sure what beers I'm doing yet. Select a couple, and I might just sort of turn it into a beer stream as well. I'll try. We've got a West Coast Pale out, and I haven't tried it yet. I've avoided it, even though it was on all weekend. So I might try that live on the stream tomorrow if I get that one out. Won't do anything Wednesday, I don't think. Might try to do something Thursday unless I go out somewhere. Not sure. And then we're back into the weekend again. And I still haven't done enough beer reviews, and I've still bought more beer. Got more beer turning up tomorrow somewhere, I think. Might be Wednesday. Funnily enough, from Yorkshire. So more Yorkshire beer tomorrow. Not really Christmas beer as such. But yeah, good little, yeah, more stuff in the stash I don't need, but you know, there it is. Right, yeah, no, this is really nice. Really nice up on the stream. So thanks to everybody for rocking up on a Monday, watching me drink beer and joining in with all the information and the chats and the reminders. If you're watching this after the event, thank you so much indeed for popping in. Do, if you haven't already, click down there somewhere, depending on what screen you're watching, the like and subscribe buttons for more live beer reviews coming from what I am borderline calling the Disco Arms. Let me know what you're drinking if you're watching along. And let me know what you think about Scottish beers, these beers in particular, particularly that Nitro Stout. Really interested. Thanks to everyone for popping in, Mr. Wilson Shark, etc., too numerous to mention tonight. A lot of people popped in tonight. Thanks very much indeed. And yeah, as always, cheers and enjoy the beers.